are. Welcome back to Decorate with Tip and More. If you're new here, hi, my name is Terry, and I am so happy you're here. So as you could tell, we're in our primary bedrooms, getting ready. Well, I'm getting ready to clean before I decorate. We're just going to dust and decorate the room, and hopefully you'll enjoy and get inspired. So without further ado, let's get cleaning. Moved everything off of the furniture so I can give it a good cleaning. We just purchased new mattresses and they sit quite a bit higher than the old ones. So I'm going to be doing something with that later on. But for now, we're going to clean, and especially the ceiling fan. There is a lot of dust buildup. To know, are you like me and clean before you decorate? Are you the type that you like to clean as you decorate? Now, the first thing I want to do is place a wreath above the headboard, but it didn't have the right color. So I found this wreath on Amazon a couple years ago, and I painted it and I placed it on the wall above the headboard in the center. All right, moving over to the dresser, I'm placing this thrift store vase that I painted a couple years ago. I want to make an arrangement with all the fall colors I've been using, especially here in the bedroom. Now I am placing twigs in the vase first. This just gives me a base to place all the other stems so they don't move around a lot. Now these stems I found on Amazon several years ago, and I painted them a brick red last year. I like to start out with a moody, darker color of stem first, and then I go lighter as I continue to add stems to. But this just gives it that bold color, and then I'll be adding some lighter colors to tone it down just a little bit. I am adding 2 stems of the Hobby Lobby blueberry sprays. These are such a pretty accent stem to use, especially if you want to add a pop of blue to your arrangement. I added these on my mantle, if you remember last week when I shared how I decorated my mantle. But I love the 2 colors together. The brown is moodier while the blue is fresh. Now I'm going to add my Cosmos. I like the lighter shade of brown, and it gives it a pop of whimsy as well. So I think I want to add, I think it's maybe 5 stems. We'll count them as I go. But I'm placing them in, and then I'm spreading them out so they're not in one big lump. And I love how this arrangement is going. Now I have this dusty blue. It's very old. I think I purchased them in Kirkland's years ago. I'm taking them apart and just adding bits of that spray all in the middle of my arrangements just to give it a little wispiness as well. And now I'm just kind of fixing them up, and I love how this looks. Add a little ambiance. I'm adding my 2 black iron candlesticks with battery operated taper candles. I found these in Kirkland's. It does come in a set of 3, but I'm not using the smaller one. And then the candle I purchased on Amazon. They're battery operated and they have a remote control. And to finish off the dresser, I'm adding my wooden Hobby Lobby pumpkin I purchased last year. Love how the dresser brings warmth and color to the space. Next to the dresser, I have 3 small frames that I have on the wall. I want to add a little touch of fall to them as well. Fall season, I ordered off of Amazon a gallery set. It had 10 fall prints in it. These are the last 3 that I am using, and I had a lot of fun using those 10 prints throughout our home. But the last 3 looked really cute as a combo, and I love how they all look together. To the nightstands, I wanted 2 similar arrangements for each of our nightstands, and I didn't have any fall foliage that looked right. So what I did is I took this eucalyptus bundles and gave it a spray painting with this gloss cranberry. Now, I used that because I had that on hand, but if I were to do it again, I would use satin or flat. It was a little glossy for me, so I took some of the same color of craft paint and just kind of toned them down a little bit. But I put each set on the nightstands, and to mine I added my devotional book and my little thrift store makeover pumpkin candle. And then to Jim's side, I just added a updated picture of me and him. Jumping over to the TV cabinet, on top I'm just doing a little change. The Kirkland's pumpkin I bought this year, I'm changing the ribbon to blue, so I'm painting it blue. And then the stem, I'm painting it that burnt umber. And it was just a little change, but how cute is it? I kept the pumpkin the same color. And then I'm adding a black face on a little riser. And then I have some plum dried leaves tucked inside. The blanket ladder, I'm adding a brown and beige check throw I found in Temu earlier this fall season. All right, finishing up the room with the bedding. I already placed the sheets and the bed blanket to the bed. I am adding a linen color comforter to the bed. As you can tell, my comforter doesn't go past the box springs. Now that my mattresses are taller, my comforters are a little bit shorter. But that's okay. After the holidays, I'm going to be making a bottom frame for my bed. So I'm going to live with it just for a little bit. Do y'all recognize this quilt? I used it a couple years ago at Christmas time. I was stumped on what I wanted to do for the bed for fall, and I didn't want to go out and buy anything. So I looked in my closet where I keep all my bedding, and I saw this quilt, and I knew it was a paisley print, and it really didn't go with the color palette, but the reverse side is a reddish brown, which works perfectly with the color palette that I'm using this year in the bedroom. Now what I'm doing with the quilt is I'm putting it at the end of the bed, but first I folded it in half and then I folded it again in half. When I do this, I make sure that the pretty fold side is being seen, and the other side where all the little layers of the quilt is being hid. Now I'm taking my Amazon knit throw and I'm gathering it up on one end and letting it drape down on the side of the bed. Then I walk over to the other side and do the same thing. Now I'm sure that some of you are shaking your head and saying this is way too much work for me to do this every morning. It's not really. I do it every day. Sometimes to get the look and make your room pretty, it takes a little bit of time and effort. And I don't mind that. I like to walk into a pretty dress bed, and I love layering. So now that I have my layers where I want them, I take the comforter and I fold it down. And to make that plush, hotel look, I fold it twice back on itself. And then I just kind of straighten it up, making sure that everything is nice and even. There's not any wrinkles in the fold. And then to hide our bed pillows, I take the shams that match the comforter and place them on top of the bed pillows. I just think it makes a neater look after the bed is completely made than seeing, your bed pillows, because most people's bed pillows are not the prettiest. So after I have that done, I'm taking the quilt that I have on the end of the bed. It came with some matching shams, and I turned them to the reverse side as well. And I just kind of leaned them up against the bed pillow and the sham. In a pop of blue, I am using these two 20 by 20 Amazon blue striped pillows. I bought these for the back porch and ended up doing different pillows. So I thought, this would be really pretty contrast, the stripes with the little print on the quilt. The last pillow, I am adding this pumpkin lumbar pillow. I love the look of the combination of the pattern and the color. A little more of that pop of blue. I am bringing this Amazon knitted blue throw. I purchased a couple years ago on Amazon, and I'm just wrinkling it up to make it look like it's been used, and then sitting two pillow pumpkins on the end of the bed. Wrap up my video for today. I really appreciate y'all coming by and watching me clean, decorate, do a few DIYs in between, and just get ready for fall. I hope I inspired you and brought you some ideas on how you can decorate your room for fall. If you like these types of videos, give me a big thumbs up, click that like button, and then go up to Decorate with Tippin Moore and click that follow button so you don't miss any of my future posts. Thanks for watching and supporting my page. I really, truly appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.